You know, we're all swimming in this ocean of information. It's just constant, a nonstop stream of articles, data, stories, you name it. And as we're trying to navigate it all, this really big question starts to pop up. What is our relationship to it all?
And that, right there, is the huge challenge of our time. As we're scrolling and clicking through this endless world of text and data, what's our actual role? Are we the ones in control? Or are we being shaped, maybe even kind of digested by the very information we're trying to find?
Well, today, we're going to tackle that very question, but we're going to do it through the lens of two totally surreal and honestly brilliant novels, The Cadastre of Unwritten Addresses and The Meat Library. Each one imagines a world built completely around information, and each gives us a profoundly different way to live inside it.
All right, so let's dive into our first philosophy. You could call this the path of radical connection, and it comes to us from The Cadastre of Unwritten Addresses.
So picture this. This novel just drops us into the Central Postal Ministry, and this building, it just makes no sense. It's like a TARDIS. It has way more floors on the inside than is physically possible from the outside. It's this enormous, living, breathing, municipal organism, and somewhere deep, deep down in its basements is the Office of Undeliverable Correspondence.
And this is where it gets really mind-bending. The Cadastre isn't just some dusty old map of forgotten places. No, it's a living archive of potential. It catalogs all the places that people believe in. Think about it. A childhood home you remember just a little differently, a country that doesn't exist anymore, a person you imagined meeting. It's a literal atlas of human hope.
And the rules of this world are just incredible. Places can have what's called provisional existence. So if enough people believe there's a certain house at the end of a hospital hallway, well, guess what? Sometimes it's actually there. Attention, memory, belief, these things can literally create reality. Believing is a form of map-making. So our main character is this guy, Silvan Mure. He's just a quiet translator who gets hired for a job he doesn't get at all, and pretty soon he starts getting these bizarre letters from his own future self, hinting that he's part of something much, much bigger. He's not just there to file papers, he's on a path to become something more. And Silvan's journey is this absolutely profound transformation. I mean, he starts out just as an interpreter of information, right? Then he becomes a processor of it. But then this thing called an anti-letter, basically a force of pure erasure, threatens to literally unwrite reality itself. And he has to make a choice. He chooses to merge, to write all of reality into his own being, to become a universal address, a single place where no memory, no hope, no letter is ever, ever lost.
Okay, so that's one answer. Now, let's look at the second one. If the first path was all about merging with information, this one is about resisting it. Welcome to the Meat Library and a philosophy of what you might call radical distinction.
And whoa, the setting here is something else. It's immediately visceral, kind of unsettling to be honest. This library isn't made of brick or stone, it's made of living tissue. The hallways pulse, the walls are warm to the touch, and every single surface is text, growing like skin. It's a biological archive.
See, this library isn't a building that holds books. The building is the book. The whole thing is one single textual organism. And here's the crazy part. To keep itself going, it has this one terrifying rule. It has to consume its readers.
In this world, reading is digestion. It's literal. As readers absorb the text from the walls, they actually get heavier, denser, until, poof, they become a room in the library. Their very consciousness becomes architecture, their memories become text on the walls for the next person. It's a total zero-sum game of information.
But then there's our hero, Gregor Blum. He gets hired for one specific reason. He has zero qualifications. His whole job is just to read without understanding anything. But when he figures out he's slowly being consumed, he makes this incredible choice. He decides to imagine a way out, to become something the library system has no box for, no file for.
So Gregor's whole journey is about resistance. He starts as this passive cog in a digestive machine. But instead of just letting himself be absorbed, he invents a totally new way to interact with a text. He's not going to be a consumer. He's going to be a conversationalist. He literally creates his own language that the library can't process, and by doing that, he changes the whole game from consumption to communication.
So there we have it. Our two paths, our two heroes, and their two ultimate choices. When you're faced with this overwhelming system of information, what do? Do you become one with it to save it, or do you stand apart from it to change it?
I mean, when you put them side by side like this, the difference is just so clear. Silvan is all about preservation. Gregor is all about self-preservation. Silvan's big move is to merge, to literally become the medium. Gregor's big move is to invent something new, to create a relationship with the medium while staying separate. One becomes the archive, the other becomes the dialogue itself.
And you really feel that in Silvan's final moments. It's beautiful, and it's tragic, and it's heroic all at once. He gives up his own individuality to become this universal safe harbor for memory. It is the ultimate act of connection, right? A living promise that nothing and no one will ever be forgotten.
And then you've got Gregor. This line, it just says it all, doesn't it? He's the glitch in the system. He's the footnote that starts talking back to the book. He doesn't want to be archived. He wants to be the one asking the questions. His victory is keeping his identity, proving that there's a way to engage with the system without being swallowed whole by it.
So, what on earth does any of this mean for us, right here, right now, in our own overwhelming world of information? Why does it matter? Well, let's bring it all home.
You can really think about these as two different models for how we live today. Are you a Silvan? Do you find your purpose in absorbing as much as you can, becoming that go-to person, that reliable source who preserves and shares what's important? Or are you a Gregor? Do you engage with all that information critically, always keeping your own point of view, creating new ideas from it, and resisting that pull to just go along with the main story?
Ultimately, these stories aren't just fantasy. They're a mirror. They're asking us to really think about how we consume and what might be consuming us. Do you merge with the information stream to help preserve it, or do you resist it to create something new? There's no right answer, of course, but just knowing the question, that's everything. So what kind of reader are you going to be today?